Welcome to week 3 of Explore the Bible. We're continuing in the book of Psalms. Hope you're enjoying this book. We're kind of skipping around different chapters every week, not really going straight through it, but that's because the nature of the Psalms. It's not a story, it's not a narrative. It's not like one of the letters of Paul where things build upon one another. Each of them kind of stand on their own. So that's why we're kind of skipping around to different ones. Today we're in Psalm 19. Before we look at that passage, if you haven't already, be sure and subscribe to our channel. Hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button to like the video. If you've got a comment or a question, tell us where you're watching from, put that in there, and then share the video with somebody else. Appreciate it when you do that. If you want to support our ministry, you can go to give.exposedtochrist.com to support what we're doing here. Psalm 19, 1 through 11 is where we are. Okay. The heavens declare the glory of God. Here's your title verse right here for this psalm. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the expanse proclaims the work of his hands. Day after day they pour out speech. Night after night they communicate knowledge. There is no speech, there are no words, their voice is not heard, but their message has gone out to the whole earth, and their words to the ends of the world. In the heavens he has pitched a tent for the sun. We're going to pick up that end verse as we get to the next section. But here, this is Romans 1. Look at creation. Look at it, and how can you not understand that there is a God? How can you not understand there is a creator, there is a maker, there is a designer? Look at it. The heavens declare the glory of God, and just pick up on the poetic statements that are made here. Right, the heavens declare, the expanse proclaims. Day after day they pour out speech. Night after night they communicate knowledge. So all of this, you see it, whether it's day or night, no matter where you are, you see the beauty of creation and you know that there is a God. But then look at verse 3. If there is no speech and there are no words and their voice is not heard, it's not that they're saying, right? They don't speak, they don't talk, but they communicate, right? Their message has gone out to the whole earth. The words to the ends of the world. They're not saying anything, but they're saying everything. They don't verbalize, but creation tells us there is a God, the glory of God. And then this end, in the heavens he has pitched a tent for the sun. It is like a bridegroom coming from his home. It rejoices like an athlete running a course. It rises from one end of the heavens and circles to the other end. Nothing is hidden from its heat. This is the picture of the sun. Every day you can depend on it, right? And just think about just that the earth rotates consistently, not just spinning, but rotating around the sun, this consistency that we see, so that we can rely on the seasons, and we can rely on the day, the time of day, the length of day, all of that. We know there is a consistency that certainly says there is a God, there is a design. It's not haphazard, it's not random, it happens as it ought to. Then he says the instructions. So here now we kind of move from looking at the heavens, the creation, to God's word. Remind us of 119. The instruction of the Lord is perfect, renewing one's life. The testimony of the Lord is trustworthy, making the experienced wise. The precepts of the Lord are right, making the heart glad. The command of the Lord is radiant, making the eyes light up. You see this different words. We talked about that last week. I think the instruction, the testimony, the precepts, the command. But here he adds this, how they work in our life, right? It's perfect, so it renews our life. It's trustworthy, so it makes us wise. It's right, so it makes us glad. It's radiant, so it makes our eyes light up. God's word is wonderful. It's beautiful. It's perfect. It brings order to our life. It makes us wise if we follow it. I like this. The precepts of the Lord are right, making the heart glad. We need to know there is some order in the world. We need to know there are boundaries in the world. I may have told this before, but there's a great story that James Dobson tells about a little school, a daycare that had a fence around their playground, but there was this great field, a park next to them that the kids would run to the edge of the fence in the yard, and they've got all these toys and things to climb on, but they would stand looking, longing out the fence, right? The stuff they couldn't get to. And then one day they took the fence down. And the kids didn't run out there. They huddled in the middle around their toys and their stuff that was on their yard. They were afraid because there was no boundary. And when they put the fence back up, the kids went right back to the edge. We need the boundary. We like this. It makes us happy to know there are boundaries in life, right? There are things that are right and things that are wrong. The Word helps us. The fear of the Lord is pure, enduring forever. The ordinance of the Lord are reliable and altogether righteous. They are more desirable than gold, and an abundance of pure gold, and sweeter than honey dripping from a honeycomb. In addition, your servant is warned by them, and in keeping them there is an abundant reward. The fear of the Lord is pure. It endures forever. The ordinances of the Lord are reliable and altogether righteous. God's word is true because it is God's word, and it is right because he said it, and it is correct and right. We only know what is right because of what God tells us is right, and it is right? And these things, more desirable than gold. This is even an abundance of pure gold. You have all the gold in the world. If you don't have God's law, if you don't have God's truth, if you don't have his ordinances and his precepts and his design of the world, if you don't have that, then what good is the gold, right? It's sweeter, he says, than honey. And then this, verse 11, we don't want to just pass over this, right? In addition, your servant is warned by them. God's word is not there to limit us, to take privileges away. God's word is there to keep us out of the difficulty and the trouble and the destruction that can come in this life if we don't heed God's word. It is there to protect us, and it warns us, right? And when we keep them, there is an abundant reward. There's a lot of good that happens in your life if you decide to follow what God says. And this is wisdom for us, right? Proverbs is great. You read Proverbs and he talks about the wise person and the foolish person. And look, there are way too many people today that are just foolish. We need wisdom, and we need to live by wise things. It is a wise person who listens to wise advice, counsel, and who follows that wise counsel. It is a foolish person who hears the counsel and then turns and walks and does whatever they want. Right? It's James, and James says, the fool looks in the mirror, sees what needs to happen, but then goes and forgets everything they just saw. Listen to God's word, follow it, allow it to change your life. And as James says, don't just be a hearer, but be a doer. Follow it. This is where joy is. This is where life is. This is where we feel glad because our life is lived inside his design. The first section, God has designed the universe. Isn't it great? The second section, God's design should be followed. Listen to the designer. He's the one who made life. Listen to how we should live our life in obedience to him. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope it's helped. God bless you for teaching. Man, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Be sure and subscribe, like, comment, share with somebody. All right, we'll see you next time.